I am live on Lake of the Woods right now. I have fish all over the screen. Stick around. I have a full fishing report for you coming up. All right, here we go, live on Lake of the Woods. I will pop the live scope up there for you, and you can see those fish. I got one coming in right there. Jig him real quick, see if I can get him. But so here's the setup. Oh, hang on one second. Let me jig this one first. You can see him coming up. And when they come sniff it, I'm just being very, very subtle. But here's the setup anyway. 30 feet of water right now. I've got Lindy Rattling Flyer, 1/4 ounce on both rods. Full minnow on this one, half a minnow on this other one there. He's kind of hanging on to it. I think I missed him. Yep. As you can see, there's fish all over. And this spot we're in right now, it's nothing special. We're just kind of out in the mud, doing a little vertical jigging. 2 fish coming up for it. Oh, he swam away, getting some. They're going to put on a show on the live scope today. Oh, there he hit it. I got him. You're going to have to pick through a lot of little ones, like this one right here. Really little ones. But if you just wait it out, those big ones seem to come through quite often. I'll show you the... we're getting a lot of these nice eaters. It's like that. Tons of those. The fishing is good everywhere from Bostic to the Gap to Rocky to Spring Steel. Everywhere guys are catching fish. Super good bite right now. I don't know what's going to happen with this storm we got coming up. That might change it a little bit. But for the most part, it has been really good. Ice conditions right now. 31 feet of water. We're kind of out a little deeper than I was yesterday. The ice is a little thinner out here. We're at 9.5 inches right here. I would say I'm probably 2-3 miles offshore probably. I know about a mile offshore the ice is way thicker. There's about 12 inches the spot we were fishing yesterday in 26 feet of water. What I'm kind of doing, there's a big fish coming in on the left. What I'm kind of seeing here is the 2 best depths. You're going to either want to be 30 feet or deeper, or you're going to want to be 24 feet or shallower. Like, so let's just say like 21 to 24 and like 30 to 34. Those 2 depth ranges have seemed to be the best bite right now. There is, up in that 24 feet of water in the evening, really, really good sunset bite. So that is definitely something to check out. During the day, got one creeping in from the left there. I don't know if you can see him yet. During the day, it's definitely better if you get out into over 30 feet. Oh, there he hit it. There he hit it. There we go. Another little one. A lot of little ones down there. But you'll see that it will, it's almost the same fish I got before. You'll see here that there will be eaters that will slide through every once in a while. And you can see if you look at the bottom of that live scope, you can, those little lumps on the bottom, if you watch them, you'll see they'll start to move, and that's fish sitting down there. So like I was saying, 1/4 ounce Rattling Flyer. I am actually going to change this one right here. And I'm going to put a minnow head on it instead. Or just pinch this minnow off. They are a little lethargic, so you'll have to jig them in. And then when they get close, you really have to slow down your jigging cadence and just kind of just very, very subtly work it. Oh, there's one coming up to that dead stick right there. See him looking at it? That's another little one there. You'll see, he'll probably hit it. But it definitely is steady action, and there is actually a lot of perch out in the mud right now too. I saw guys last night coming in with a dozen perch, some groups. So the perch bite has been really good too. He's just little, just pecking at it. That is the glory of live scope, as you can see exactly the size of these fish are. Pink glow on that one, Wonder Bread on this one. This one back down there, you can see that fish right there. Sitting right on the bottom. Jordan, you been out spearing? That comment right there is from Jordan, isaw.com. If you are a spearing guy, go check out his stuff. He's making those saws, Jordan, right? Macintosh is where I believe, I could be wrong on that, but I believe he makes those saws right in Macintosh. They actually have a really sweet show in Bijou, Minnesota. They also do, as far as the whole spearing deal goes, but definitely check that out, isaw.com. And with this mud bite, the rattling flyer is kind of key to what we're doing here, because this water in Lake of the Woods is stained and my heater quit. So with this stained water, you need a little bit of that rattle to get these fish to come in from a distance. So I will just keep working this flyer. If these fish, you'll see here in a minute when more come in, but if these fish were to get a little more lethargic, I'd probably switch over to a quiver spoon, or rattling quiver spoon actually. So with the rattling quiver spoon, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a slower drop rate. It's a much more subtle presentation. The rattle isn't as loud as it is in a rattling flyer spoon. Or what I might do actually is I'll probably do a quiver on one and I'll do a rattling flyer on the other one. So I'll call it in with the rattling flyer and then I'll finish it with the quiver most likely. And I might actually switch in a minute here to that quiver and see if that does a little better. But I know guys, Long Point's going good, Zipple's going good. I know guys on the road out of Pine there that are doing good. They're catching fish everywhere. Ice conditions you can bring up right now. Snowmobiles is what we're using, or you could use four-wheelers as well. There's maybe 6-8 inches of snow, 10 inches of snow, some spots on the lake. So you can get around with the four-wheeler side by side just fine. We do have that snow. I don't know if that snow's going to hit up here or not. I know it's going to hit East Grand Forks, but if we get any more snow, though, and a little bit of drifting, it might get a little tough with wheels, and you might have to go to snowmobiles, depending on what this system coming through does. But for right now, snowmobiles and four-wheelers are great. And I haven't been way out in the middle of the lake. I don't know what it's like out there. Just remember, no ice is safe ice, and you want to check the whole time or go with a resort. You want to be safe, because just because the ice is good where I am doesn't mean that out in the middle of the lake it is it's good. But right here, I mean, we got nice, clear, solid 9.5 inches of ice. And like I said, last night up by shore, 12 inches of ice and 24 feet of water. So lots and lots of ice. Let's see a fish sitting right, another little one sitting right underneath me there. There, Jordan says, you need ice saws. Shields has them. So as far as these rattling flyers go, we got some new colors we came out with last year. Here are those colors right there. Glows, some pinks, Wonder Bread. Show you those one more time. And this rattling flyer, you know, it's just a staple. Whether you're on Red Lake, Lake of the Woods, Mille Lacs, rattling flyer works everywhere. It is a phenomenal bait. It really is my go-to. And it really is good. You know, it's not crazy aggressive, so it's a really good middle of the road bait. So you can drop this bait down first and you can watch your electronics, and you can kind of judge, you know, what the mood of the fish is, and you can adjust your lure presentation from there. Caleb, that is hard to read today. Caleb, 31 feet of water. 31 feet of water, Lake of the Woods. And like I was saying before, 30 feet plus is good. 24 feet, 22 to 24 feet is good. We struggled a little bit in that mid-depth range. We still did catch fish in 25, 26 feet of water. But in my experience, the area I'm fishing at right now, the little bit deeper was better during the day, and then the shallow 24-foot stuff was better in the evening. There are some comments coming in now. Yeah, Tim, that Wonder Bread flyer is awesome. Love that one with the go back on it. Super good. I don't know, maybe we'll give something away today too. We could give away, I can't show you the flammable rod case right now, but I have a flammable rod case to give away. Mine is buried under all these electronics, but so go ahead and throw a comment. If you comment, I will message you when I'm done with this live, and we will give away a flammable rod case to somebody. How about that? So go ahead and throw your comments on there, and I will pick one, or I think I might even have two of them. I'll pick one or two people after the live, and I'll message you and ship you out a flammable rod case. What area are you fishing, Caleb? Do you know? I'd say, yeah, I mean, 18 to 22 feet, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, the spot I'm fishing, or the area I'm fishing, just because the bite isn't phenomenal, seems to be right now. And then definitely, there is a crazy bite in 24 feet of water right at dark too. Really good one. John would love a rod case. James, fishing for walleye, perch, sauger, maybe pike, maybe burbot. I did catch a couple burbot yesterday, actually. It's like we got a broadcast communication failure. I don't know what that means. Are we still live? I don't know what happened there. Throw some more comments if I'm actually still live. I'm not really sure what happened. And I do know that this specific area I am in right here, right around lunchtime, the bite does get pretty good for some reason. There's a good, it really picks up from like noon to 2. Error has occurred with the Facebook comments. We got a train wreck going on here. A lot of errors. If you can still see me. Oh, there we got a ton of comments. Mark, what is up, Mark? You guys, how's the ice in Wisconsin, Mark? Give us a fishing report. I'm curious. I haven't heard much from Wisconsin. There, we got one creeping in. You'll see him. That's actually a little bit better fish right there. So now, can you see my jigging? He's a little far out, so I'm going to be kind of aggressive. Then as he gets closer, I'm going to tame this down. I bet he swims right by. Does he? Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to get aggressive since he swam by. Now he's by the dead stick. Not having it. It's a little bit better fish too right there. It's probably a 16, 17 incher maybe. Tim, the lake is not actually where I am. It's not busy at all. No. The area I'm in right now, there's zero traffic. I actually can't even see another fisherman where I'm at right now, barely. I can see some houses way off in the distance, but it is, no, not busy at all. Yeah, I am marking a lot, yep. You'll see when I first logged on there must have been 3-4 fish down there at once. Yeah, Zipple fields are always, there's another one right there. He's looking at it. He's probably going to bite it. So now I'll get real subtle with it, and I'll just wait for him to grab onto it. There, he's got it in his mouth. Not really, though. Just barely. And with the weather right now, we have super lethargic. See how lethargic he is? And that, that's a great example of, probably downsides to the rattling quiver. This might be just a hair too big and aggressive for him. I'm going to go look at that dead stick. I'm just going to leave that dead stick and see what happens. See if he hits it or not. Yeah, it's cold, Mark. It's cold here. Negative. When I left the cabin this morning, I think it was like -5. The weather situation is a little funny right now. It's like my favorite fishing weather and the worst fishing weather all in one right now. So I'm not really sure. This is interesting because we've got super cold weather that just started, which I generally don't like. But then we also got a big storm front coming across too, which I do like. So we have both scenarios going on, so it will be interesting to see how those fish respond to this. I don't think, it looks to me like, oh, there he's coming up for it. I'm going to pause it. See, he's bumping it. Bumped it again. Lethargic, so lethargic. See, he's looking at it. You see that? Oh, yeah. So I'm just going to be super subtle with it and see if I can get him to... It's not a big fish at all. Those big ones, when a big one swims through, it'll be extremely obvious. Subtitles. That's actually that's a interesting. I'll have to look into that subtitle thing. I never thought of that. I suppose. What would happen if you took it off mute? Is your phone on mute? Maybe is that why the subtitles are there, or maybe maximize the screen? I wonder. But I'll remember that next time. I'll raise. I can't do it now because I'm already in the app. But I will. I'll raise that whole setup up a little bit. So if there's subtitles, you can see it better. That's a great point. Thank you. $78 degrees? What? I don't even know what that is. Turn off the closed captioning. I'll work on that for the next one. I don't know. Be off of Adrian. Sweet. Yeah. Bring rattling flyers and quiver spoons. Those are the Lake of the Woods staples. Pink and gold. I think everybody up here knows that. Pink and gold are phenomenal colors on Lake of the Woods. There's one under me right there. Got two to the right. He's looking at my dead stick. And fishing out in the mud like this, it's only a matter of time before the big one swims by. Talking to guys in the lodge last night, it seems like almost every group of people, everybody was talking about, at least one person in that group was getting a nice 24 to 27 incher. Talked to one guy, got a 29. So those big fish are still, they're roaming out here in the mud. Oh, he hit it. Another little one. Oh. Got a little nicer fish off to the right there. Oh, he's so little. Oh. See, you can't fish with that whole minnow right now. They're just barely holding on to it. Here he goes. See, he's got his head tilted up at it. Be real subtle with it right now. And this rod here, I'm just running straight ice braid right to the, is this rod or that rod? One of these rods. I believe it's this rod. I'm just running straight ice braid right to the lure. I do have a fluoro leader on the other rod, but it's for Lake of the Woods. It's not needed. These fish on Lake of the Woods generally don't care, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to do it. He's coming up for it too. But you'll watch if I really jig it. Still sticking around. See how high we can get him to come. Getting too high to see. Drop her back down. There is a nicer fish right now sitting off to the right in, about 15 feet out. He's just hanging out over there doing something. Negative 25. What? It's Saskatchewan. Wow. No. I don't find the bigger walleye suspended on Lake of the Woods, actually. No, they're pretty close to the bottom generally. And if my batteries last long enough, I will show you eventually. I guarantee eventually, if we can stay on long enough, we will see a bigger fish come through, and you'll be able to see exactly how he's acting. And they'll just, hover a couple feet off the bottom, come in at a steady pace generally. And that is the advantage to these new, there's a little better fish on the left there. You'll see him in a second. This could be actually a really decent fish. You see him yet? No, there he is. He's just starting to show up on your screen there. So I'm not gonna over jig him. And if I was betting just by the pace he's going, I bet he swims right by. Watch. So right now he's coming up to me. Yep. Whoa, stalled him a little. If I can interest him, I'm gonna pound the mud just to pound the mud and see if that does it. Yeah, they just can't stop him. I wouldn't say that he's scared of that lure by any means, but he's just not having it. You can see him just steady pace right across. Big ones like to do that. That was a better fish there. That's 17, 18 incher probably. All right, what do we got going on here? Fishing's awesome on Lake of the Woods. Really, really good. This early ice bite on Lake of the Woods every year is phenomenal. You can't beat it. It's such a good bite every year. And the fishing, progressively through the season, you know, we'll move further out, we'll hit the reefs, we'll do all that kind of stuff. It's just, this fishery is just so good. He's just barely hanging on it. I'm gonna try to set the hook and see if I can get him. He's little, really little though. Nope. Nicer fish coming in from the left again there. And this is how it is. So you could see there how, I think I lost my minnow. You could see there, oh, still got it, how the screen was quiet for quite a while. And then all of a sudden, you have a little pod of whatever, 3 to 5 fish come through. And that's kind of how it's been. And that's, you know, that's pretty typical for the mud. You're generally not going to sit out in the middle of the mud and just see fish all day long nonstop, generally. If you want more action like that, like the edges of the reefs and on the reefs, is generally a little better for that. But this is a really good representation of what generally ice fishing in the mud is. Quiet period, little school of fish. Quiet period, little school of fish. Like I said before, oh, as soon as I look away, another little one. See, he's just, you can see him just hanging on to it, but he's not gonna bite it. That's a little fish, really, really little. Like I said before, throw your comments down there. Flammable rod case is going out to somebody. There's that little one again. You can kind of pick through him with the live scope too. Like, he's way too little to catch. He's very, very little fish. How deep am I fishing? 31 feet of water. 31 to 34 has been good during the day. 24 has been good in the evening in this area that I am fishing. Oh, there he hit it. A little better. Just grabbing onto that minnow. Nope. He's just grabbing onto that minnow and not getting any hooks. So I could downsize and probably catch him, but that is really not, that's not what I'm looking for. See him just still chasing it there. Oh, yeah. Not even a rod case. You're already entered. Throw a comment. Watch your messages at the end. I'll mail that rod case out to one of you guys. It's that easy. Like I said, I might have 2 even, so there might be 2 winners, but I will message 1 or 2 people. Probably within 10 minutes of when I get off this live, we'll just scroll through the comments and point and randomly pick one. Random winner. Send you out a flammable rod case. I wish I could show you the flammable rod case, but I just have so much stuff on top of it right now, it's not even an option. I do like it because it's very, very compact and small. It's very minimalist. It's very small, and it fits all your walleye rods, no problem. The length is great, and you can fit it in your otter or whatever type of sled or toboggan or whatever you're using, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. I've used a lot of other rod cases in the past that were just so big that there's nowhere to put them. But Flammable really makes a nice compact rod case. Very durable too. I've never broke one, and if I haven't broken one, I don't think anybody will break one. What am I fishing for? Walleye, sauger? Walleye and saugers primarily. It really depends on the bite, whether I'm using a full minnow head, tail hooking the minnow. When am I using a chub, a fat head? We're just using, or shiner, I mean. We're just using fat heads right now. I do have shiners with, maybe, somewhere. So you can see right now there's at least 2 fish down there, just checking it out. Little ones again. This is supposed to be a redemption live. I don't know if you remember last time I did a live on Lake of the Woods, but I lost, oh, there's a little better fish. I lost probably a 26, 27 incher at the bottom of the ice on my last Lake of the Woods live. So hopefully we can change that and get a big one here. We'll see. Okay, that's actually a good comment. I hook the minnow through the head, so when you're pushing that hook through the head of that minnow, you'll kind of feel there's one part of that minnow head where there's like a little, let's just say bone. It's more dense, and it'll hold your minnow way better. If you try pinch it and then hook it by the meat, it doesn't hold very well at all. So I do always hook them kind of almost like middle of the eyes through the snout like that, and it's more firm there, a little bit of bone there, whatever, and it holds much better doing it that way. Ryan is, I haven't talked to him for a while, so I have no idea what he's catching, but he's probably, I don't know, 150 yards south of me, I suppose. Not sure how he's doing over there. He hasn't called me to take a picture of a 29 yet, so that's all I know. How much ice is there? 9.5 right now in 31 feet of water. Like I said earlier, we were up in 26 feet, 24 feet up in that area. There's a foot of ice up there. And I would imagine as you go further out, it's going to get a hair thinner. I'm not going to go too far out yet. Yes, Russell. Pink and gold. I'm telling you, pink and gold. That's what you want. Pink and gold rattling flyers. We got pink and white quiver spoons. Just a little one chasing there. You definitely want 1/4 ounce pink and gold is the staple on Lake of the Woods for sure. Rattling flyers have been a phenomenal lure on Lake of the Woods for years and years and years. You can't go wrong with a rattling flyer. Just little. When you coming up, Jared? You can see that might be a better fish right on the bottom. I don't know if you can, you can kind of see him lingering there. If I can get him to come up or not. No, another little one on the bottom. So we got 2 down there right now, one sitting on the bottom and one suspended. He's gonna come look at it. During these lives, I usually miss more fish than I catch because I'm not paying attention. Winnipeg, no. Lake of the Woods by World. Nathan, I do not use a drop shot setup in the winter ever, no. I do use a drop shot setup a ton on Lake of the Woods for smallmouth in the summer out of the boat in the rocks. But no, I do not ever use it on the ice. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but I've never drop shotted through the ice. In some situations, that drop shot through the ice actually might be a thing because it would stir up that mud. You can see I got something right on the bottom there, kind of. They'll hug the bottom so tight that you can't even see him on the live scope sometimes. That fish was a prime example. I did not see him until he rose up. He was right on that bottom. All right, perch on Mille Lacs. Oh, pay attention. See? You gotta yell at me when those decent fish come in. That's a better fish there. Still not big, but he's better. See if I can figure out what he wants. I think we're probably going to be putting that quiver spoon on here shortly. Mille Lacs perch. I'm not a Mille Lacs guy. I'm a Lake of the Woods guy. But Dustin Munson, Hawk Hunter Guide Service, is your guy on Mille Lacs. Hit Dustin up. He is a hammer. He's one of our Lindy Pro staff guys. So hit Dustin up. I am positive that he will have some advice for you, or book a guided trip through him. He's a hammer. I mean, you want to catch fish, Dustin Munson's your guy on Mille Lacs. So go ahead, Hog Hunter Guide Service. Look him up on Facebook. You will be impressed. He catches a lot of fish, and he would know more about that Mille Lacs deal than I would. I fish Mille Lacs very seldom. You can see now this is another little pot of fish coming through here that are, they'll look, but they're not. And truthfully, I'm not looking to catch those kind of fish anyway, because those are just little 7, 8 inchers right there. We're looking for the better 15 to 19 inchers. Or 29 would be cool, just to look at and put back. What setup am I using? I have a Radcliffe custom rod. Scroll through the comments, you'll see Mark and Eric from Wisconsin. They build these rods. Can I show you this rod maybe? You gotta check out the carbon fiber grip. This is a blue carbon fiber grip on it. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but really cool looking rods. Really, really cool. And it's a true custom rod, so they will build it however you would like. Length, action, speed of the tip. You can tell them exactly what you want, and they can tailor that rod to what you're looking for. They do panfish rods, they do lake trout rods, they do walleye rods, they do everything. If you want a truly special rod, Radcliffe Custom Rods is definitely worth checking out. I may have their info. There we go. There's a little shout out to Eric and Mark right there. That's the guys right there. If you're interested, they got every color in the rainbow. They'll do custom wraps. It's custom everything. Like I said, if you scroll up on the comments, you'll see Mark threw a comment out earlier, and he is one of the owners of Radcliffe Custom Rods. Thanks to Flambeau Outdoors, too, for the rod cases we're going to give away. There, we got some nicer fish on the left there, not wanting to come in. You see those? Let's get that out of the way. You can see them there on the left, swimming away from me. Oh, what's that? Come on, he's that. That might be the one we want there. You can just see him on the edge of the screen right there. I just feel like this spot, during the day sometime, that bite window is going to turn on and we're going to pick up a ton of fish, because this area, there is a lot of fish down there, really. They're constantly just coming through. Yeah, Jason, you're 100% right. They're super negative right now. it's also a 25-degree temperature change. So that is not helping what we have going on here at all. All I want for Christmas is a Radcliffe fishing rod. You do want one, I'm telling you. They are really, really nice rods. I think the cool part about them is they'll build them to the exact specs you want. Maybe you're a snow bear guy and you want an ultra short rod. Maybe you're a fishing outside guy and you want a super long rod, middle of the road rod like I got here for fishing in the house. Whatever you want, they'll build it. It's worth talking to them for sure. I would imagine they do. Mark, if you're still on here, you guys do ice shows? I would imagine they must do some ice shows in Wisconsin, I would imagine, if you'd want to check out some of their stuff. And I believe there's a few select retailers in Wisconsin that have a selection of their rods also. That's more of a question for Mark. He hit it when I wasn't paying attention. Like I said, throw a comment down, giving away that rod case. All you gotta do is comment. Check my bait quick. Still good. And the perch out here, the perch population, there's really been an uptick lately. It's been good. A lot of perch mixed in with the walleyes and saugers. Come look at it. Just little guys looking at it. If any questions, guys, go ahead and throw them out there. Any questions about Lake of the Woods in general, anything like that, go ahead and throw them, and I will do my best to answer any questions you may have. We're just kind of waiting for that big one to come through. So you can see a ton of little ones down there right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 maybe. Just see that aggressive one there? He's moving a little faster than the rest of them. Looking at my dead stick here. I'll switch rods here. I think he's going to hit this one. He's hitting it, but he's not hitting it. See, you can see he's just hanging on to that minnow. I can tell. I'm going to try to get him, but I think he's just holding on to that minnow. Oh, there, I got him. It's a fine line there. They're not big fish, so it's a fine line. They are getting bigger as we go here. That's a sauger. He will be going back. Little sauger. There he goes. Rebait and get her back down. Ooh, it's out up high there. That must be that fish I just put back down. No, Tyler, I have 2 rods. I have a dead stick going and a jigging rod. That fish actually just hit the dead stick, which makes sense because, like Jason commented on there, they're super negative right now. But when this spot does turn on, hang on. It's going to be good. I think for the evening bite, I will move up shallow again to 24 feet probably, because that is a really good evening bite up shallow. No, I don't use walleye. You know, I should use walleye scents, but I don't. Yum makes a lot of nice walleye scents that I do use in the summer. On Lake of the Woods in the summer, I actually use a ton of plastics. The Yum Swim and Dinger is probably one of my favorites in the summer on Lake of the Woods, and I do spray the Yum scent on that Swim and Dinger in the summer, all summer. Love that. Especially with the new regulations in Canada where you can't bring bait across the border, those plastics have really come into play. So I've really played with them a lot lately. And I'll tell you what, those plastics in the summer, I'm Lindy rigging with them. I'm pulling spinners with plastics on. I'm vertical jigging with plastics on. I'm pitching plastics up in the rocks. I wouldn't be afraid to put a plastic on anything. You don't see a lot of guys pulling spinners with plastics. If you haven't tried that, you need to try it. I believe if you go way back in the videos, we were up on Lake Winnipeg, and I did do a video up there pulling spinners with plastics, and it shows the whole process and how to do it. Definitely check that out. It's something everybody should try because it really works well, and then you're not rebaiting all the time either, and you can get that spinner back down there way faster. You just drop it over and go. You're not taking that worm out and hooking it, so it's a great technique. But back to the question, in the winter, no, I don't use scents, but I'm not against using scents in the winter, that's for sure. George, do you have to pack up and move spots? That is the question always, isn't it? Stay or move, stay or move. Just be, oh, there he's hanging on. Oh, he's so little though. Stay or move. Just because it's 6 below, I'm probably going to stay here for quite a while, and then right at dark, I'll probably make a move up shallow just because of how cold it is and all this camera equipment that I have set up. It's a big project moving what I have going on here. This is great. You can see the different attitudes of the fish. So see that fish that just came in? How spunky he is? Yeah, there you get it. He's not big, but you can see the different attitudes. You got those 2 lethargic ones sitting on the bottom, and then I'm guessing it's a little sogger, yeah. Then you saw him come in, and he was just, you could tell right away that he was going to bite the way he swam in fast like that. Totally different attitude than the rest of them. That was minnow head. Rattling flyer spoon, Wonder Bread. Get her back down there. I don't know if you can see that, but you can actually, there is one coming in. You can't really see him yet, but a better fish. Brian, I may be live for the evening bite, possibly. I tell you what, if you want to find a good fishing spot, just go somewhere where you have poor cell phone service, because to do this, I have to have such a good service. And I would tell you that the spots that the fish bite, there's not good cell phone service ever. It's tough. I have a really good bluegill spot that I will do a live on this winter with a fish camera. Bear with me on that live. It will be a little glitchy because of the service in that spot, but it's worth doing because the bluegills are just massive. I did a live on it a few years ago, and I'm going to go back there. But the repost, if you always watch these repost, it will be a clean recording on the repost always. So because I am recording it to repost it. So if there's any key points you want to get out of here, if you just scroll through that repost, it'll be clean and not glitchy. Travis, that's a great question too. How long do you stay in one spot if they're not biting? You know, there's a lot of factors there, really. I mean, if I drop down and I'm not seeing anything, I'm out of here. If there's no fish to fish, I'm not staying. If this is happening right here, depends on the day a lot of times. Just because of all what I have going on here, I'm probably not going to do a ton of moving today and how cold it is. But I'll make pretty substantial moves. I'll move a lot if it's nice outside and I'm not filming or doing anything like that. I'll make a lot of moves because you know what? The fish are always biting somewhere on Lake of the Woods. You just have to find them. Yeah, that Starlink. I tried the Starlink, but with the Starlink, I had issues as well, of course. Won't be on for too much longer, so if you have any questions, throw them down there. Everybody that has put a comment down is registered for that flammable rod case or cases that I will be giving away when I'm done here. I'd like to get a good one before we log off. I was hoping a sturgeon would swim through. They are impressive on the live scope. You can see their fins and the whole works. It's really cool. I would say that every day I'm out here, a sturgeon does swim through. Tyler, how was the morning bite? The morning bite is definitely not as good as the evening bite, I will tell you that. The morning bite is not spectacular. You'll still definitely catch fish, but I would say that bite in the afternoon has been better than the mornings. Let's see, we got a little better fish hanging off to the right there. Just see him just looking. One thing this live scope has taught me is you want to keep that jig moving because you'd be surprised how far out these fish can see this. I mean, that fish will be 20 feet out and you'll pick up your rod and start jigging and it'll just accelerate right to that lure. They can sense and feel these lures from a long way away. James, how long do I stay out? I'll stay out till dark. There will definitely be increased fish activity right at dark. And it'll be like a light switch when it shuts off.